Taiwan. I'm Brossard with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Animal rights activists are fighting to put an end to dolphin shows in Taiwan. Yu Jinhuang has more.
Dolphin performances, like the one happening here, have long been a tourist draw for Taiwan's ocean theme parks. But some say these shows violate the sea mammals' rights and send the wrong message to people that go see them. Animal rights activists are now calling on the government to put an end to dolphin shows.
它绝对是一个纯粹的恶。为了展出海豚表演，有些海豚它从野外被捕捉，它经历跟家族、跟朋友的离散与伤痛，甚至亲眼睁睁地看着家人被残忍的屠杀。
Last year, Taiwan's Agriculture Ministry banned using protected land-based animals for entertainment. That includes forcing them to interact with humans. The activists say that ban should also apply to protected ocean life.
对于利用野生动物来做这个展演这件事情呢，我们是基本上也是表示反对了哈。那我们这一块也会尽快来跟农业部那边来合作推动修法。
Authorities say changes to the law are a must to avoid any gray area in making sure dolphins' rights are protected. But until that happens, these sea creatures will continue to be vulnerable to exploitation. Klein Wang and Yu Jinhuang for TaiwanPlus.
Volunteers are struggling to clean up a massive oil spill in northeastern Taiwan. Brossard went to the region on Wednesday to find out more.
We're here in Liven on Taiwan's east coast on what is a very ordinary beach. But if you look closely, the rocks here are all covered in thick, sticky oil. Now, it's something that the locals here discovered this morning, but it's actually an issue that's been afflicting the whole of the east coast for the past week. The oil spill originally came from the south near Taitung and Green Island, and it's been moving in the water northwards over the past week. Now, volunteers have come here to clean up the oil on the rocks, but if you look at how big this beach is, and this is just one of many along the east coast of Taiwan, they're moving in tiny increments along the rocks. Volunteers here are using these sheets to wipe off the oil from the rocks, and it's a very arduous process because it has to be done by hand and the oil is really thick. It comes off like this, but it still leaves remnants of the oil on the rocks. Now, they say there's not enough people doing this job, there's not enough time to prevent the oil coming in. It's still in the water and it's still moving northward, which means the oil is getting into the ecosystem, it's getting all over the rocks, it's in the fish, and they say there's not enough being done to understand the source of these problems coming in. Luffy Lee and Laurel Stewart in Liven, Taiwan for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's rush to shed the label of Pedestrian Hell has not been popular with everyone in the country. Sally Jensen takes a look.
An end to Taiwan's Pedestrian Hell has become a nightmare for taxi drivers. Pasting the character for anger on their hoods, taxi drivers in Kaohsiung City are protesting new road safety measures.
完全都没有号志灯，也没有说什么双黄线禁止穿越，结果他直接判我直接闯红灯的这个罚单。
车子已经到那边了，他人冲出来，我怎么刹车？刹车自己吗？我刹车，我人不就飞出去？你们这个交通法规根本就是乱搞。
The laws were passed in June this year in response to widespread complaints that Taiwan's unsafe streets had become hell for pedestrians. But these taxi drivers say the new rules are harming their livelihoods. Drivers are getting more fines, and they want the city's transport bureau to shorten the time for appeals.
很多人申诉都等3个月，以前是15天。
The National Taxi Drivers Association says it's taking the issue to higher authorities.
各政府局处的交通官员能够重视我们的诉求，并且将这个检举制度重新发回立法院做更审。
The Kaohsiung City government says it's already finding ways to resolve the problem.
路段中100到150公尺，要划设10%的 临停黄线或者是专用的临停停车格，这部分我们已经在办理当中。
But finding a solution that balances the safety of pedestrians with the work conditions of taxi drivers could mean a long wait. Dolphin Chen and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
Business is looking good next year for one of Taiwan's biggest companies. Here's what the CEO of chip giant TSMC told reporters.
明年景气我们也说了是一个非常健康的成长年，所以大家放心。
Liu joined other industry leaders at an advisory conference held by Taiwan's cabinet. The multi-day meeting is aimed at accelerating the country's progress on chips, AI, and net zero emissions technology. Premier Chen Jianren, hosting the conference, says the national science and tech budget will top $4.8 billion next year, up nearly 20% from 2023. Baseball is helping attract a new generation of young people to a small Korean island. John Van Trieste has this report.
A group of young people run with purpose across a sandy beach. They've come here to train, far from the distractions of home. If all goes to plan, the names stitched on their jerseys will one day be known across the country, and maybe even the world. This is Dokjeok Island, a tiny speck of South Korea in the Yellow Sea. Though just a few hours from the bright lights of Seoul, life here is far from fast-paced. Since the 1950s, the population's plummeted to just under 2,000 people. But things are changing, thanks to elite baseball manager Kim Hak-young. His plan is to turn the island, already used for spring training camps, into an incubator for Korea's next baseball champions. Promising student athletes from around the country enroll in the island's high school, where they're turned into pros. At the program's launch last year, 28 student athletes signed up. This year, 13 new teammates joined them. The school, once on the brink of closing, is now a lively place. For the An brothers, aged 16 and 17, it's been quite a journey from their hometown, 400 kilometers away. But it's one they say has been worthwhile.
아무것도 없어가지고 할 수 있는 게 진짜 운동장이랑 거기에 공도 있고 해가지고 할 수 있는 게 진짜 야구뿐이어가지고 그냥 심심하면 야구하고 뭐 그런 걸로 할 수 있어서 그런 목표에 갈 수 있을 것 같아요. 기회도 많이 준다 해서 형이랑 같이 왔는데 여기서 열심히 하면 주전으로 써주기도 하니까 그래서 더 열심히 하고 있는 것 같고 여기서 나중에 또 잘하면 프로 선수도 되고 네, 잘할 수 있으니까 좋은 것 같습니다 여기.
Baseball is big business in Korea. The Pro League has 10 teams, and this year alone, their games have drawn more than 8 million fans. With good coaching and grueling training, the program promises to put Dokjeok Island on the map as the birthplace of stars. It's taken a while for some locals to warm up to the idea, though. Much of the funding for the program comes from islanders' money, earned from sand dredged offshore that goes to construction sites in Seoul.
육지에서 있는 애들을 데려다가 우리 돈을 주냐. 그 나이 드신 분들이 그런 얘기를 하시죠. 그 이해를 못 하시고 우리 같은 사람들은 이제 그렇게 좀 전에 서두에 얘기했듯이 학교를 존립하고 독촉대 이런 발전 이런 거를 위해서 야구부 애들을 데려서 학교 폐교를 방지하고 존립하기 위해서 했지만은.
But with time, many, like this 82-year-old, have been won over.
우리도 애들이 여기 와서 있는 거 좋아요. 그리고 점점 많이 들어오면 더 좋고. 근데 애들이 자꾸 준다 그러니까 그게 걱정이 되는 거죠.
The teams become the pride of this tiny island, and an example of how to revive South Korea's many small communities as the country's population ages. Devin Tsai and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Thanks for watching What's Up Taiwan. For more coverage from Taiwan and around the world, check out our website or social media. Finally, save some room for dessert. You're looking at nearly 2 tons of Christmas cake on offer as part of Germany's traditional Stollenfest in Dresden. I'm Philip Brossard, take care, and we'll see you next time.